Hello everyone, welcome to Court with Krissy. By watching the following video, you are helping support a single mom who is working harder than a sober AF ugly stripper. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
We'll go on the record in the matter 24 CT79, State of Wisconsin versus Robert Oyot. The state appears through Assistant District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Mr. Oyot appears in person without counsel. We're set today for an initial appearance. Mr. Oyot, first of all, I like the statement of the shirt that you're sober. The AF part, not court appropriate, okay? It's not really funny. So I really should ask you to go and flip it around. I didn't see you when you were first in. I'm not going to do that today, but it's not appropriate. So the next time you do it, I'm not going to be so nice, okay?
That's fine.
Again, love the sentiment. I hope it's true.
It is.
Are you sober?
113 days today.
I'm so proud of you too, Mr. Oyot. That is absolutely, that is amazing.
It's thanks to the court system gave me that extra push, you know.
I am so proud of you because I know that you've had your struggles and you've had your issues and you're working. It sounds like you're working very hard.
Oh, yes.
How many days?
113, ma'am.
113 days.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Sorry about this. I'm never happy to get.
Yep. Nope. I get it. And so definitely now for real, I'm not okay with the shirt, but I'm okay with it right now because I'm so glad to hear that.
Oh, yes.
So Mr. Oyot, did you receive a copy of the criminal complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can read, right? You understand the
ma'am.
English language?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that charge and that maximum
Yes, ma'am.
penalty? Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
need me to read it to you?
No, ma'am.
Are you still on?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us,
Oh, ma'am, it's changed.
what is it? Maybe send you text message notifications
Yes,
of
ma'am.
upcoming hearing dates. All right. All right. So at this time, you're pleading not guilty, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there an offer that can be presented?
He provided his license before coming to court, so I'd move to dismiss it.
Oh, even greater thing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the court will grant it and dismiss. You're surprising me in all of the great ways.
That's cool.
I am so excited, and you absolutely look great.
I
You
know
really
it.
do.
It's like,
You
yeah.
look healthy.
Yeah. I just thought I got chunky. Just kidding.
You what?
I got chunky.
You did not get chunky.
know, just
I think you look
I know.
fabulous.
I know, man. I love it.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad to see
Yeah.
this, and I see your eyes just shining.
Yes, I'm back. I found myself.
I'm so glad to hear that
Yeah.
because you're a veteran, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, you've been through
Oh,
a
yes.
lot,
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
especially in your childhood and
Yeah.
all of those things.
Yeah.
And what you're overcoming it's great.
It has a ripple effect.
It
I
does.
got to take one of my nephews to treatment last week.
And so you're a positive influence and you're
Oh, yeah.
helping.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so
Community.
glad to hear that.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
We
sir.
needed fingerprints for him.
Oh,
so there's
apparently
a
we need
form for that
fingerprints.
one.
If you can just go down and give your fingerprints, then you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
So,
Chavara?
Ready, Judge.
Is it Chavara? Chavaria? How do I say that?
You're on mute.
Sorry about that, Judge. I say Chavaria is okay. Good morning.
Good morning. I have to, let's see. We have a adjournment request here, Mr. Gagnick.
Correct statement, Judge. It's the first pretrial before the court.
So Ms. Chavaria,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
She's here before the court on a disorderly jostling fighting charge. I have no problem to adjourn this matter. To give you time to analyze the case and see, what the situation is and if there's any method of attacking it or if there's any appropriate resolution, Mr. Gagnick, I have to believe that you need some of those additional videos to get that done.
Correct statement, Judge. And I did discuss that with my client this morning by phone. Big picture, there is a plea offer in place that one way or another, I think we can have the matter resolved before the next court appearance. But I think the videos would be of assistance in getting to that point. So whatever date the court wants to reset the matter for, we will make ourselves available.
Okay. All right, so I will adjourn this 4 weeks, send notice. Just want to make sure of one thing on the bond. Okay. Obviously, she was already ordered not to consume any alcohol. I believe she was ordered to test. Has she signed up for that yet?
My
Yeah.
understanding, Judge, I did discuss that with her this morning. I believe that she has signed up. I think she's already submitted to testing. That was gonna be my next question. Does the court have a record? She does possess a valid medical marijuana card.
I'm not aware of that. If she has provided that to pretrial services, then the court will take that into consideration. If there's any positive tests as to whether or not to violate her bond, I just need her to provide that to pretrial services.
Not a problem.
And I'm sure you can explain to her that I want her to journal her use so that she's protected from any use pursuant to the card, but she's not protected for recreational use. So
Understood.
as long as she it's pretty simple, Miss Chavara. If you when you use it, just write down in what form and for what purpose, like whatever symptom you're managing at that particular time, just write that down. You can even email it to Mr. Gagnick and just let him know.
Okay.
All right. I will say, Mr. Gagnick, your client, I think, has the most unique T-shirt that I've seen that the court has observed in a virtual court proceeding. But it did generate a small piece of laughter, Miss Chavara. But going forward, I would suggest just a little less humorous next time.
Yeah, sorry. I actually, I just threw this on last night when I came back home. It's my boyfriend's shirt. Can you believe that?
Well, I hope that doesn't generate any uncomfortable conversations going forward. But just follow Mr. Gagnick's lead, and just taking a look in general at this, like Miss Chavara has this offense, and it looks like there's been a big gap between any prior interaction with the court system and this. So let's just figure out how this happened, why this happened, what's going on, and see if there's a good, solid resolution that's out there. Okay.
I agree.
Thank you, Judge. That's the conversation I had with her. So we will certainly be ready when we do reappear. Myra, I'm going to text you a summary of what the judge is asking, and then we can discuss later this week once the videos come in.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Sounds good. I'm all set, Judge.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a nice day.
You've been charged in case 24 CR 008047E with battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history? Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor, he has 3 cycles. The last arrest was December the 7th, 2024 in Richmond County, Georgia, for felony obstruction of an officer. There is no disposition for that arrest. There are no convictions listed in the GCIC. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 1 with an adult cosigner. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
And yes, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident from the 6th of December at about 5:40 p.m. Police were called to, there they met with first the victim's, actually the defendant's sister, Courtney Cooper. She's the individual who called 911. She told police that she received messages from the victim in this case, the girlfriend of her brother, Mrs. Samantha Wright, saying that she'd been assaulted by Mr. Farr, the 911 caller's brother. She showed police the text messages. They indicate that she'd been punched repeatedly and had received threats to have people come over and shoot her. 911 caller, Mrs. Cooper walked police to the apartment where this happened. Officers ordered the defendant outside. He spoke to police. And the victim spoke to police as well. Mrs. Wright reported that the defendant had gone through her phone like he always does, taken her phone from her, pushed her down on the ground repeatedly when she was trying to get her phone back. And that made it so she was unable to call 911. That while she was on the ground and he was on top of her, he punched her. That this fight moved from the bedroom into the kitchen, where again, she tried to get her phone from the defendant. The defendant admitted arguing, admitted going through the victim's phone and seeing something he didn't like. He said he called his brother and was telling his brother about the victim, and she started yelling at him. And he admitted that he grabbed her and a hug so that she would stop yelling and cussing at him, and they went to the ground. Once the victim was separated from the defendant, she reported that the defendant had strangled her against the counter there in the kitchen after he had assaulted her in the bedroom, and that altercation moved to that location. And she showed police a mark on her face where she had been bitten by the defendant on her face. They share a child who was present in the home, initials SW. We made contact with the victim today, Mrs. Wright. She now denies that there was any strangulation and says this is the first time they've ever had any violence, and she's not in fear. We'd ask for a $2,000 surety, Your Honor, no contact with Mrs. Wright, and that's Samanda, Samanda, and the child they share is SW. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and to stay away from the location where she lives. And if you would sound for Mrs. Wright. Thank you.
If Samantha Wright is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Your Honor, I would note that it looks like there are
I'm here.
There are two other arrests for this defendant. They may have been juvenile arrests, but they are burglary and armed robbery out of Clayton County. I see no dispositions.
Thank you. Ms. Wright, if you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to activate your camera for me.
What do I supposed to say? I can't see.
Okay, you're gonna have to turn the camera to your face.
How you fixed it?
Okay, down a little bit for me.
I don't have on the shirt. I gotta put my jacket. Give my phone.
Okay, is this Ms. Wright?
Yes.
Okay, raise your right hand for me, ma'am. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can put your hand down, but keep the phone up to your face. What would you like to tell the court?
Well, I don't fear for him.
Okay, you want to tell me what happened?
No.
Okay, has it ever happened before?
No.
Okay, and what if you're here today, why don't you want to tell me what happened?
I don't know.
Is this your baby here?
My
Or you
baby.
have- Okay, and is that Mr. Farr's child as well?
Yes.
Okay, is he legitimated?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Allen, or Ms. Madison, anyone else want to participate in this?
Sure, just briefly. Ms. Wright, have you received any phone calls from the jail after the arrest of this young man?
No.
Okay. And you guys had a court action where he asked the court to make him the father of this child legally, and he's got access through visitation and custody rights from Superior Court?
What?
Did you guys appear in front of a judge related to visitation and custody?
No.
Okay. And how old is this baby?
1 month.
How many?
1 month.
Okay. I guess I thought that the child was a little older. My information was that the child had a date of birth of October 2023. It's to October 2024.
October 23, 10/23/24.
Got it. So even younger than I thought initially, Your Honor. This is not a 1-year-old. This is a 1-month-old. Mrs. Wright, do you live at the location there on
No.
Center Street?
No.
Okay, where do you live?
Around the corner.
Do you and the defendant live together?
No.
Okay. Is there someone with you?
My baby.
There's not an adult present with you right now?
My mama.
Okay. And do you live with your mom?
Yes.
Okay, and what address is that? And how old are you, sweetheart?
19.
19. And Courtney Cooper is the individual who called the police?
Yes.
And is she your friend?
That's his sister. She in here.
Okay. She's your friend?
If you want to say.
Did you reach out to her when you were being assaulted and ask for help?
She texted me. She texted me first and said, "Pooh, you okay?" And I told her what happened.
So you sent her text messages about being assaulted?
Yes.
And you showed those to the police?
Yes, because the police asked to see the messages.
Right. Okay. Those are all the questions I have, Your Honor. I would just reiterate, the state's got some concerns. This victim is obviously clearly vulnerable. This child is much younger than we thought. Her either reluctance or inability to answer questions right now is concerning. And
But
so the state has some
the
concerns.
baby
Excuse
didn't
me,
even
you don't
see
get to
them.
interrupt. One moment, please. The state's got concerns, not just about intimidation. Here, the 911 caller is the sister of the defendant. She's there present with the victim right now. The victim was reluctant to speak about where she lived, didn't really talk about the incident at all when asked. We've got some serious concerns, Your Honor. We'd ask for a stay away.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Miss Madison. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. McLean, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 21 years old. His address is over in Decatur. Your Honor, he works through temporary services. He's 21, as I said, and he works through temporary service warehouse work. We would ask the court to consider a signature bond if possible in this case, Your Honor.
All right, and I see that Mr. Farr's mother is on the line as well. Miss Latona Farr, are you
Yes,
there?
yes, it's Latanya Farr, but I can't do the camera thing because it says that you cannot. Okay, they undid it.
Okay, there you go. You're gonna have to go put a jacket on for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Does Darian live with you?
Actually, he go back and forth from my house to my mom's house.
Okay, and how old is he?
He's 21.
And what did you want to tell me?
Okay, first and foremost, like I said, he actually, I think, should seek mental health. And I told him that, and he agreed to get mental help or whatnot with, I don't know what he's finding as in depression or whatever. But like this had been the first incident, like something like this has happened or whatnot. And when she spoke about him being a juvenile and everything like that, the probation officer that he had before then, she also said that he's supposed to continue taking the medication that he was taking while he was in there. So, Yeah, that's the only thing that I would like for him to seek is like mental health.
Okay. Ms. Farr,
He's
if I
a great
release,
father and everything, so
okay, if I release him, are you going to be able to come down and sign him out as a parental co-signer?
I mean I can't or his stepdad can actually do it because I'm actually at work working out of town in South Carolina. But I can
Okay.
get his stepfather to do it because I'm legal married. So I can get his stepfather to do it if that's what need to be done. Yeah.
What's his stepfather's name?
Gerard Marshall.
Can you spell that for me?
Jerod Marshall Marshall.
All right, so for Mr. Farr to get out, Mr. Marshall's gonna have to come and sign for him. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Farr.
Okay.
All right, for the battery, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. He's to have a parental co-signer of Gerard Marshall. 1-day anger awareness. No further contact at this point in time with Samantha Wright. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your
Did you
Honor,
get
is this an adult co-signer? He's 21 years of age. You said parental co-signer.
well, since it's not, I thought it was going to be his mother, but since it's going to be his stepfather, he'll be an adult co-signer.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, who do we have next?